Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hey Descendants and Zombies universe, thank you for all the love you've been showing my Descendants and Zombies videos over the past couple of days. It's become very apparent to me that my Zombies videos have exploded in popularity. I think it has something to do with how much I love Freya Skye. And I'm never going to deny that I'm the biggest fan and supporter of Freya Skye in the world, because Freya Skye deserves to have the time of her life being a part of the Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour. We all enjoyed her performance and we all wanted it to last for forever. I know I did. While I can't speak for every critic on YouTube, I really did love Freya Skye's performance because she showcased herself not only for the character Nova, but for who she was as a person. And she was so emotionally connected with that performance. That's what I loved about Freya Skye so much. I just saw the entire music video for Gold Is Gone from the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide Tour. It was awesomely collaborated, and I felt like I wanted that music video to last for forever. I shared it on all my social media platforms, from Facebook to X. It was incredible. It was an incredible night to be a part of something so spectacular, and I think it was a moment in Freya Skye's life that she just wanted to last for forever and never ever wanted to end. And that is something that is so unbelievable about these Descendants of Zombie stars, is just how dedicated they are to each and every one of you. And you guys did a fabulous job when you showed up at the Worlds Collide Tour, because you came out in support and out of love of your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, which I can never give you enough profound amount of credit for. While other critics showed up on YouTube at the Worlds Collide Tour, and they criticized everything they could possibly find to talk about on their YouTube channels for a video, I wanted to talk about everything that I saw so amazing from the Worlds Collide Tour. Now, I never had the opportunity to be a part of it. I was shut out of it from the beginning of the summer, since the tour commenced, because of no Canadian dates. But I never shied away from reviewing the Worlds Collide Tour, because one of the things I looked forward to this summer was talking about the Worlds Collide Tour for its true worth and its true value. Because what it really came down to was your guys' love and support that you showed for people like Freya Skye, to give her incentive to keep creating beautiful music, to be the star she is as Nova, as part of the Zombies franchise. I think there was nobody better to pass the torch to, from Meg Donnelly to Freya Skye, because Freya Skye really is the embodiment of what you can really accomplish when you set your goals and your dreams to the highest of levels. She definitely is going to be one of the biggest pop stars of all time. Definitely the next future Disney star, and I think probably the next Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift. I will go on record for saying that I endorse her for being the next Taylor Swift or the next Ariana Grande, because you can watch all the Ariana Grande music videos you want, but they're not as powerful and not as inspirational as what Freya Skye is putting out there now. Now, I know she still has a long way to go, but I want to be one of those guys that says nothing but good things about Freya Skye, because I know she's going to be faced with her fair share of criticism, and she's not going to know how to deal with it because she's young. I mean, who knows everything at 15 years old? The thing about the music industry is it's very cruel and sometimes very cold, and it feels as if you don't really have the support that you want and you're searching for all the time. I think all these celebrities like Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande and Demi Lovato have definitely searched for more emotional support. But I think that Freya Skye has that from each and every one of you, because you came out by the thousands at the Worlds Collide Tour, and no matter how much criticism was thrown your way for attending the Worlds Collide Tour and being a part of it, this will go down in history for being one of the most revered, and if not the most successful, concert tour that Disney has ever put off. And that takes into consideration the success of Hannah Montana, Jonas Brothers Best of Both Worlds from 2008, the Cheetah Girls One World Tour. Everything Disney has ever done in the past, from stage productions that could be included like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, nothing I think will ever surpass the legacy of your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, who really were showcased for their true worth at every venue, the 43 arena dates all across America throughout the summer of 2025. The summer of 2025 will forever and always be remembered for the moments and the memories it created for us because of the Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide Tour. I've been reading the reviews of the Worlds Collide Tour for quite some time on the internet, and I'm going to tell you guys, I think that everybody showed up at the Worlds Collide Tour to find something to review in a very negative way. I know a lot of people showed up on YouTube claiming to be the biggest Descendants of Zombies fans in the world, but for the life of me, I don't have any explanation to offer you as to why they criticized it. I think it had something to do with jealousy. You had these self-proclaimed biggest fans in the world, the Descendants of Zombies, on their YouTube channels, saying everything negative they could about the Worlds Collide Tour. And here was this guy showing up from out of nowhere, nobody had ever seen or heard from in about almost 10 years, talking about Descendants and Zombies in such a positive way that everybody subscribed to his YouTube channel. God love you guys so much. Because I was gone for over 7.5 years. People were reaching out to me. It was almost as if the Descendants and Zombies universe wanted a guy to host a show about Descendants and Zombies, a podcast if you went on YouTube every single night. Because they knew he knew what was up. They knew he was the biggest Disney fan in the world, and they wanted him to come back. And you guys got what you wanted. Your wish was granted, because I did come back, and I've been here for forever, ever since I found out about Descendants and Zombies' overwhelming popularity. And I fell in love with both franchises. That was the thing. If I tell you I've watched Descendants and Zombies 100 times, I've watched Descendants and Zombies 100 times. And having the honor to review that for you guys on YouTube this past summer has made this the greatest summer of my life. Do I think that Freya Sky still has a long way to go? Sure. But that doesn't mean that she can't get there. She is so strong. She is so fearless. We got that from the character Nova in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires. I mean, she didn't really care what anybody thought of her. And I think that was the most admirable quality to take away from Freya Sky with and run with, was how she didn't care what anybody thought of her. And she still doesn't care what anybody thinks of her. All she wants to do is be the best to her ability that she can be for each and every one of you, to come off as an inspiration, which I know sometimes for a lot of celebrities is very difficult to do. You know, years ago, guys, before many of you were born, people like Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy would take to Twitter at the time, before it was rebranded to X, and say things like, "I'm not a role model," in tweets, because they felt like they were letting their fans down. And after Demi Lovato cracked under pressure, Selena Gomez had to take a reprieve away from the spotlight because everything was getting to her battle with lupus, her constant struggles with depression. Everybody reached a breaking point in generations past for Disney. I don't think Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, the Jonas Brothers ever got to a point where they could bask in the moment and the glory of being a part of something like the Worlds Collide Tour. I think that if more tours were done like the Best of Both Worlds Tour years ago, they probably would have had more fun, but Disney didn't want to give them that chance to have as much fun as they possibly could. You know, I think about if I were the director and the writer and the producer of the Worlds Collide Tour, I put this out in some of my very first videos that I threw up on this YouTube channel about the Worlds Collide Tour about 3.5 months ago. I would love to encourage them to have the time of their lives and take away the pressure of them having to perform night in and night out, because it's pretty much the same thing repetitively on constant repeat, night in and night out. You get off the tour bus, you spend 3 or 4 hours rehearsing, and then by 7 p.m. the first show starts. And the show is over by 10 o'clock, it's a meet and greet, and then it's back to the bus, and it's the same thing all over again the next night on constant repeat. And they're under so much pressure. And having to deal with that so much pressure, it's unbelievable. For you guys that don't understand what happens behind the curtain, there's a lot of pressure that goes with performing. I'm sure you do know that, but you don't really know how much pressure is put on the shoulders and on the minds of your favorite stars. You know, am I going to fool up? Is this going to go down in history because I do a great performance? Is something going to happen? Am I going to be remembered for doing something I probably should never have done? What I would love to have been is the writer and producer and director of this thing, and before the show goes live, minutes before the show goes live, I would stand in front of all the cast members of the Worlds Collide Tour, from Kylie Contrell to Freya Sky, right on down the line, and I would tell them, just go out there, have fun, be yourself, and however the audience feels about you, let them feel that way about you. If they love you, they're going to let you know about it. If they don't love you so much, they're also going to let you know about it. But it's always a time to improve yourself, and it's time to reinvent yourself. I would want for them, more importantly, to go out and have the time of their life on stage, because it's only a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Nothing like this will ever happen again in our lifetimes. That's the thing. And because nothing like this will ever happen again in our lifetimes, we have to make the most of every opportunity we're given, because the most precious commodity in our lives is time. As I've often said, it's because time always runs out. You know, what will we do with the time that we are allocated? Will we tell more people in our lives that have been very important to us that we love them? Will we go back in time and fix the majority of our mistakes? Because as I've often admitted to each and every one of you, I'm far from perfect. But because I see the good in people like Freya and Kylie and Ruby, I want to say nothing but good things about them, because I still think they have a lot to figure out and a long way to go. You know, when my nephew was first born in 2009, in June of that year, a lot of conversations that my family would have revolving around him every time he would fall asleep in his baby carriage was that he still had a long way to go. And the same kind of analogy can be brought forth for people like Freya Sky and Kylie Contrell, because they are just figuring out their place in the world, and they don't know where they're going from one moment to the next, because they're just crazy about all of you. That's the thing. They want to get lost in moments with each and every one of you. And if Freya Sky wants to get lost in the moment of being a part of the Worlds Collide Tour with each and every one of you, more power to her. Let her be the way she is. Let her have fun. Because it only happens every once in a lifetime, and I think that she really needs to make the most of every opportunity she's given. You know, all the previous songs prior to Gold's Gone's release were beautiful from Prayer Sky, and I can see why people would believe that she's going to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, if not the next Taylor Swift. I, for one, am incredibly excited for her future. I think that she really brought the movie Dawn of the Vampires to life in a way that nobody else could have ever been able to do it. I say this because I've been involved with the music industry for forever, and there's a considerable amount of pressure that goes with trying to produce an album independently. It's one thing to produce an album with the help of a label and how the label wants to perceive you. That's pressureless enough. But when you go out on your own to produce an album independently, like Meg Donnelly and Kylie Control are currently doing because of their reputation, and they believe they have enough fanfare and support to do it, there is a profound amount of respect that needs to be shown to them, because it's always a constant struggle. There's always that doubt in the back of your mind. Meg Donnelly has expressed this time and time again of how she feels she's never good enough for her fans. And that shows tremendous dedication to every single person who ever believed in her. From the very first moment her album, Dying Art, was released with songs like Stranger on it, she doubted herself. And every single night of her life, I don't think there was a night that Meg Donnelly didn't say she wasn't good enough. And I wanted to do something about that. I wanted to come on YouTube, and I wanted to be one of those YouTubers that would make an exception for Meg Donnelly and Kylie Control and just give them a chance and let them know it was okay. Every night that sun set, I just wanted to let them know it was going to be all right, and they would eventually make sense of their own lives, because they still had a very long way to go. I mean, who knows everything at 15 years old? Freya Sky won't be 16 until next month. I'm really excited to celebrate both her birthday and Ruby Rose Turner's birthday back to back. I think Ruby Rose Turner's birthday is on October 16th. Freya's is on October 17th, 24 hours apart. And I'll have something special put together on this YouTube channel if you join me for it. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that. You know, I think Britain people are really beautiful people. And that's why I think, because British people have beautiful souls, Freya Sky still has a long way to go. And when she does figure out her fullest potential, and she realizes that, that's going to be a moment in time. We're all going to be a part of history when Freya Sky eventually explodes, because she is going to follow in that same spotlight as Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande. There's no denying coming from me about that, and I fully support that. I fully support her hopes and her dreams, along with wanting to let her know that everything is going to be okay. Will she face her fair share of criticism? She already is, and she's doing a fabulous job dealing with it, because she's not letting the critics get to her, because she realizes that she's in a position that a lot of people her age would kill to be in, would give anything to be a part of. I mean, everybody wants to be a part of Descendants and Zombies, and there's no denying coming from the fans of Descendants and Zombies of wanting to be a part of it. I've seen meet and greets, and I've seen this firsthand, where people go up to people like Dove Cameron all the time asking if they can be a part of Descendants or Zombies. And that really breaks my heart, but it also warms my heart too, knowing that somebody out there would sacrifice everything they ever had or been given for just one night to be a part of Descendants and Zombies. And everybody who was a part of the Worlds Collide Tour, I will say this as a YouTuber, had that honor given to them. So you don't deserve to be criticized by any critic on YouTube. You don't deserve to have that taken away from you. And because I've been on YouTube for forever, and I got the call from each and every one of you like Batman, and I saw the bat signal to come back as a YouTuber for the first time in almost 10 years, I wanted to let you guys know that in light of all the criticism we are receiving as Descendants and Zombies fans, that you will forever and always have me. No matter who comes and goes out of these two franchises, Descendants and Zombies, you will always have me to help you make sense of everything Descendants and Zombies and point your favorite stars in the most promising of directions so that they realize their fullest potential and they achieve all of their dreams. Because there is no greater feeling in this lifetime than realizing that you accomplished the goal that you set out to achieve. A dream became a reality for each and every one of you, because you get to this pivotal point where you stand back and you realize, oh my God, this really happened for me. Am I a part of this? Is this really happening? And it really is. And I think the moment that you realize that you achieve your dream, there is no greater feeling in this lifetime. And the same thing can be said about me. You know, I thought I was done. I thought my career was over. I thought I'd said what I had meant to say. I thought I would never record another show or another YouTube video ever again. And then from out of nowhere, you guys brought me back from out of obscurity. And I'll be honest with each and every one of you, obscurity is a really scary place to be lost in, until somebody eventually takes you by the hand and pulls you back out of darkness into the light and helps you make sense of everything of your own life and helps you put the pieces of your broken heart back together, which is the most incredible feeling that I ever experienced because of the Descendants and Zombies fans. Because Descendants and Zombies fans saved my life. They helped me have a second chance and realize my fullest potential as the voice of Descendants and Zombies, because I can tell you guys, although I may not know what the future has in store for my YouTube videos, I know that this is the greatest time of my life. To talk about and profile people like Kylie Cantrell, Freya Sky, Malia Baker, Ruby Rose Turner, who I miss forever and always, being a part of the Descendants franchise. I can't even tell you how broken my heart was when Ruby made the announcement she was no longer going to be part of the Descendants franchise, because I believed that her story was just beginning, and it was far from over, just as I do believe that the stories of Freya Sky are just beginning and far from over. And how I know that is because we're never going to quit on people like Freya Sky. Do I think that Ruby Rose Turner could re-emerge in the Descendants franchise, given how much you could give for Ruby to do in the foreseeable future? Yes, I do. I think there is even more of a chance than ever before that Ruby Rose Turner could return to the Descendants franchise, and I will be there center stage to welcome Ruby back. So too will I be to welcome back some of your favorite Descendants stars of the past, like Dove Cameron, who always denies the chance of her reprising a role as Mal ever happening for her. I really believe that there is a chance we could see stars of the past and even stars of this newer franchise, The Rise of Red, return from out of nowhere. And I do believe that Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, because they are the power couple of this new generation when it comes to Zombies War Dawn of the Vampires, that we haven't seen the last of them, even if it is in the form of a cameo. And I'm incredibly excited to see where the future takes us from here, talking about Descendants and Zombies and everything that revolves around it, because this is going to be an incredible year. You know, there's already rumors going around online that there could be a sequel tour in the works for Descendants and Zombies in the foreseeable future. And if in fact there is, with the final show coming up on Tuesday night in Fort Worth, Texas, where I would love to be, if there was one place in the world I would love to be this coming Tuesday, it would be in Fort Worth, Texas, just to see the emotion packed behind the final performance of the 43 arena dates of the previous 42 that had happened. It would be really nice if they had a video package of all the highlights from the Worlds Collide Tour venues, and they had a celebration of the tour. Obviously on D23.com they'll have some kind of profile up, and I'm really excited about it. Probably Disney.com will have something for it. I'd love to have an official Descendants website for this, and I would love to have an official Descendants and Zombies podcast launched by Disney. But I think it's forever away from happening. So while it's forever away from happening, I want you guys to know that you'll forever and always have me to talk about Descendants and Zombies with each and every one of you, to help you make perfect sense of everything meaningful to you about Descendants and Zombies, because Descendants and Zombies is a beautiful production, and one of the most beautiful and one of the most honorable productions that I think I've ever had the honor of talking about, and you guys have allowed me to talk about it. Because here's the thing, you guys have been forever supportive of me. So what gives me the right to come on here and criticize your favorite Descendants and Zombies stars? I have no right. And so too doesn't anybody else on YouTube to criticize your favorite Descendants and Zombies stars. If anything, I'm going to profile the Worlds Collide Tour for how I saw it. And that was a fabulous 5-star production, where stars like Freya Sky, Meg Donnelly, Milo Manheim, even though they weren't in attendance, deserve all the praise in the world for believing in it so much, for trusting in each and every one of you to come out in unison. Because I remember times when they would have Zombies conventions years ago, and they thought maybe 50 people would show up, and then over 150 people to 200 would show up to every convention. And that's at that moment they realized they had created something special that would forever and always hold a special place in somebody's heart. And I give you a profound amount of credit for showing up in support of your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars every single time. These people who uploaded videos filled with criticism about the Worlds Collide Tour and the productions of Descendants and Zombies over the last 10 years, because we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Descendants back on July 31st, 2015. I know because I was a part of it, after people had persuaded me to watch Descendants and Zombies, check it out for what it was worth, and I loved every moment of it. I have to tell you, if there was one franchise that I fell in love with of this new generation, it was Descendants and Zombies. And it broke my heart seeing all these videos filled with criticism by these big-time YouTube creators about your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars when they could have just given them a chance. I mean, sure, people said they loved Ruby Rose Turner and she was their favorite Descendants character, but why was she your favorite Descendants character? Why was this specific moment in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires the moment that stood out from every other thing that happened in the Zombies franchise? Because there were so many moments in the Zombies franchise that have kind of faded off into obscurity. The moment that Zed and Addison first met, and they knew they were going to spend the rest of their lives together. And then when they broke up in Zombies 2, when Addison found out her true origin as a werewolf and an alien, and when they found out at the end of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, right before Zed was going to zombie out, that they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together, and they knew from that moment on they loved each other more than anything else in the world. Because it just goes to show how much you'll sacrifice when you eventually get to that point in your life that everybody gets to, where they know they found somebody they want to spend the rest of their lives with. And the thing is, No matter what anybody tells you, everybody gets to that point in their lifetime where they find somebody that they know they're going to be with for the rest of their lives. And that's what makes this life so important and so special, is because eventually everybody gets to that point where they meet somebody where they know they're going to spend the rest of their lives with them, and they will do anything to make sure that happens. And if there was one message that Descendants of Zombies has always and forever distilled in their minds, it's that forever does exist. True love has a chance of happening for everybody. I don't care who you are or what you may be going through. I want you to hold on to that as the sun is officially setting on my life tonight, and hopefully wherever you are tonight with a clear mind. I want you to know that every dream that you have is possible. And I think that's what Meg Donnelly, Mila Manheim, Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, Freya Skye, Malachi Burton have desperately tried to convey in all of our minds. Which is why I really appreciate how Kylie Cantrell opened up every tour date of the Worlds Collide Tour with dreams can happen for everybody, because consequently enough, that's what I've been saying on this YouTube channel for what must feel like forever for everybody. I will say that again tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. on my first show tomorrow morning. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support you have shown people like Freya Skye, because they need it. And they need it now more than they ever have. Because when I see videos of Kylie Cantrell crying on YouTube because she can't make sense of her own life and the situation she's caught up within, that really breaks my heart, and it really creates a problem. And it's something that we can act on together as fans of Descendants and Zombies. And we can just go to her, I don't know, her YouTube channel and subscribe to Freya Skye's YouTube channel a million times over. And do the same thing for Meg Donnelly. And do the same thing for Kylie Cantrell all over again, just to send, a sign of love and some amplification of hope. Because the reality is, Descendants and Zombies fans, we are up against 15 million critics. And I just wanted to take away the pressure that these critics have put on the shoulders of your favorite stars, because there is a lot of considerable pressure that goes with performing night in and night out for a tour as big and as huge as the Worlds Collide Tour. The final reviews of the Worlds Collide Tour are going to be something worth paying close particular attention to, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what the final reviews of this are. I know a lot of people were disappointed about it. But if, say, 500 people were disappointed about the Worlds Collide Tour that were in attendance, 15,000 more came out of it thinking it was the best experience of their lives. They couldn't believe they were a part of it. They were taking photos with their cell phones, shooting videos, uploading it to YouTube. And you guys did a great job, because you didn't want to listen to the critics. You didn't care what the critics had to say. Some of you probably didn't even care what I had to say. But the cool thing is about this YouTube channel was you guys believed in me and took a chance on me when you didn't have to. That was the thing. And you held on to the believement of this YouTube channel, providing you with great commentaries about Descendants and Zombies, which was unlike anything you had ever heard or seen before when it came to Descendants and Zombies. And that's why this YouTube channel has nearly 3,000 subscribers. That's why this YouTube channel is the most popular Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel in the world, and well on its way to becoming one of the most revered. Because I honestly thought my career was over. I couldn't fall into a niche that could have been more supportive of Descendants and Zombies. I couldn't ask for anything better and more unbelievable, because this really has been an experience that I know I will forever cherish, and Descendants and Zombies will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart. This didn't happen because I decided to upload Descendants and Zombies videos one day in my life when I was bored. This happened because I uploaded the Descendants and Zombies video and it exploded with over 1,000 views in one night. And I woke up the next morning a celebrity. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you have shown this YouTube channel, because I honestly don't know where I would be. I think we are the #2 most popular Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel in the world right now. And come to think of it, I think I'm the only guy who actually commentates on Descendants and Zombies, as opposed to creating a reaction video for you guys for some moment that may have happened in Zombies War Dawn of the Vampires, or a music video, or something having to do or pertaining to the Worlds Collide Tour. I have really just wanted to be a part of this, and I've wanted these moments to really last for forever, because I will forever and always cherish it. Because what it comes down to is you guys, because you are the most important factor that has made Descendants and Zombies so successful. Why it's receiving so many raved reviews, with the final concert date coming up on September 16th. I'm going to miss the Worlds Collide Tour, and I'm going to miss talking about it, but I will give you my word and promise you that we will still talk about the Worlds Collide Tour from here on out, and flash you back to specific moments that happened during the Worlds Collide Tour, because it meant so much to you to be a part to be a part of something so spectacular. That's the thing. Descendants and Zombies touched our hearts for forever and always, and it will always hold a special place in all of our hearts, because we believed in it enough to bring it to life. That's the thing. I have never felt so honored to be a part of something so spectacular as I have been talking about the Worlds Collide Tour. What the future has in store for Descendants and Zombies, well, that's what's so exciting about it. We don't know what the future has in store for Descendants and Zombies. We don't know what's inside of that vortex. We don't know what the next chapter will detail for Victor and Nova. All we know is that something is going to happen that is going to be absolutely miraculous, and I have never felt so honored to be a part of the Worlds Collide Tour as I do now. Thank you guys so much for blowing this YouTube channel up, always subscribing when you really didn't have to subscribe, because I honestly don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you. I know every night I sound like I'm suffering from a zombie infection, but I do this because I love Freya Sky so much. I have forever and always loved Kylie Cantrell, and when I see them being criticized, it really breaks my heart. Guys, keep on holding on to the belief that Descendants and Zombies will last eternally and forever and always in our hearts, because while all these critics are trying to take it away from you guys, I am doing the best I can to try to keep these franchises alive for forever. But I know that I can't do it without each and every one of you, because your love and support that you've shown me for this YouTube channel is unlike anything else that I have ever experienced in my entire life. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube channel. Hopefully I'll get, 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully everybody will subscribe to my YouTube channel because of this video. I love the Worlds Collide Tour. I will be here on Tuesday night when the final performance in Fort Worth, Texas happens and goes down to talk more about the Worlds Collide Tour. And as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Descendants, which I invite you to join me for on this YouTube channel, there is something for everybody happening on this YouTube channel, from key moments in Descendants history to everything yet to happen. And I'm really proud to be here covering it for you guys. Thank you guys so much for bringing me back when you didn't have to, and revitalizing my career and giving me a second chance at my legacy, because this is the greatest honor that I've ever had bestowed on my heart. From my heart to yours, I just simply want to say thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the Worlds Collide Tour the way that you have, and stars like Freya Sky, who I really believe is going to be the future Taylor Swift. There's so many good things to say about her and yet to be witnessed. Her music videos definitely say a lot about her future, and I can see why you guys love her so much. Does she deserve all the criticism she's been faced with? I really don't think so. But when Freya Sky really realizes her fullest potential, that's going to be a moment to embrace. That's going to be a moment we're never going to forget. And I'm just incredibly grateful that I'm along for the ride with each and every one of you as your voice of Descendants and Zombies, here to help you make sense of everything Descendants and Zombies for the foreseeable future. Because this is a journey that I hope never ends. And if this is a dream that you can wake up from, I certainly hope that I never ever wake up from it because of each and every one of you. Because Descendants and Zombies gave me the honor to meet each and every one of you. And this really has been my greatest honor, and an honor that I will never ever forget and forever and always cherish. Keep Descendants and Zombies, Worlds Collide, forever and always in your hearts, as I will keep you in mind. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Worlds Collide Tour with an undeniable amount of love and support. I honestly don't know where this YouTube channel will be without each and every one of you. I love you guys so much. We will talk again tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. as always. I love you guys. Keep supporting Descendants and Zombies forever and always, because kindness really does go a long way in this world.